sending to frickin' Twitch. Data is sending to frickin' YouTube. And then it's just gonna frickin' start. Um, there we go. Okay, we're live on both. Incredible. Let me put up the correct things. Let me also look at the chat for once. Um,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then put that up. Freaking welcome, everybody. Um, this is a stream of a game. My name is Jesse T. William, and I'm a professional dungeon master, game master guide on Start Playing. And these are my players. This is not a professional stream. This is just a little sneak peek into what my games look like. This particular story contributes to a larger series of anthologies with a bunch of these little freaks who are in other games that you might find. Um, we'll go around. I guess we also have titles so everyone can see names. But Jacob, wave and say hi.
Hello.
David, wave and say hi.
Hi.
John, wave and say hi.
Hi, I'm a little freak.
Hell yeah. Andy, wave and say hi.
Hi.
Tucker, wave and say hi.
Hi.
I feel like John's was the best. I feel like he escalated and he followed up with a thing, and Tucker brought it back down to normal. Incredible. Usually the purpose of the stream is to again like have this more or less be as similar to my games as possible. Um, so I usually do to start my games is a character perspective recap. So checking in with each character as to either what they're feeling going into this session, if there is like something pressing and pertinent as there is with this session, but otherwise, a little tip for you little freaks out there. I ask a player to recount an event from just the story so far that is most pressing on their mind. And that also helps kind of guide DM keep track of player engagement and story stuff. But we'll go across the board. I guess I'll just list people off. I was gonna have you guys take initiative, but keeping it tight for a live audience for all 0 people watching in this current moment. Jacob, what's Nicodemus feeling right now?
He's feeling pretty good. It seems like he's back in the back with the archers, so hasn't really seen the bloodshed yet. But depending on where we left off, it seems like things are okay still during the battle. Or did
Mm,
things start to fall apart at the end?
things were very bad. So I'll seed back in some details, but basically like the entire front chunk of the forces sent in here have been mowed through. There was this big beam that had torn through a huge section of the mages, which Ismarie narrowly survived. Not that Nicodemus would have seen Ismarie's personal survival, but it's like oh, we're overwhelmed and it's bad here. So you want to
Oh,
jump
in that
forward.
case, yeah, freaking out a little bit, but this is what he signed up to do. So there's that resolve that's keeping fear mostly at bay.
Hell yeah. Um, uh, well, David, your character is barely there. What do you think he's feeling right now?
Why am I looking up at the sky? And why is my armor so heavy? And I can't feel my legs.
Hell yeah. Um, uh, Andy, what's Redmond feeling right now?
Uh, Overwhelmed. He he just watched the battlefield completely lose control as his commander was sucked the soul right out of him in front of him, and he is experiencing a drop of responsibility that he had wanted but wasn't ready for. He doesn't know what the fuck to do.
Hmm. Um,
Uh,
Talker, what is Murray feeling right now?
So I believe the last thing that you described to me was like within fucking inches from me, everybody next to me just being absolutely fucking obliterated.
Mm-hmm. Can smell
So
their charred, like dusted remains.
yeah, it's nice. I think that everything that Ismarie had been feeling up until this point of like this place will be my deathbed is starting to feel less like an ominous threat and more like an in your face threat. Um, and I think we've kind of just entered like survival mode. I don't even think that there's necessarily any like conscious thoughts so much as like the subconscious and his body just kind of moving because he has to live.
Uh,
Um, yeah.
Incredible. And then I will bring us into the session with narration and then Gus's feeling. So where we last left off, yeah, people obliterated, people dying, but from the front lines for Gus and Noel, after outsmarting a very confident Devlin and dueling it to death, Noel expending all of his energy for a single kill on the battlefield, was then immediately had his soul sucked out of his body by a different terrifying creature passing by. Um, uh, that then another false knight, a knight that is not a person but a thing from hell, um, uh, came and tricked Gus in its own duel, knocked you down. I think killed someone in front of you and put the body on you. And as it was about to stab through the body, a member not of the Legion but a Eusimic knight, something that Gus was supposed to be, swiping the sword out of the way and then pressing the fight against that creature, leaving Gus with a heavy armored body on top of him. Uh, uh, Absolutely a lot of like energy out, and looking over at the dying Noel within view. Um, Mechanically for Gus, gonna do this now in case I forget. I want you to take 5 stamina out of your pool, presuming that you are a stamina person. And then also I want you to take 2 of your buffers away, presuming that that mostly happened from the damaged crystalline devil that jumped to you.
I
And
do
then
have magic. I'm split between stamina and magic. Should I lose some magic or
um,
just the stamina?
I will say because your front lines, um, you've been coordinating with other people to use like physically attack.
Okay.
And then so like maybe your stamina pool is more pressed and you're more free with your magic. Because
And
also
you said, sorry, 2 buffers?
the 2 buffers, yeah.
Okay.
Magic is a much more precious resource to lose. Um, but yeah, so Gus, as you are on the ground, this weight on your chest, the battle raging around you, don't know what the next threat is. What is Gus feeling?
I think immediately after being saved by the Eusimic Knight, it's very much like fight or flight at that point. Um, Almost like body is locked, can't really make a decision between those two until I think you said I sort of see Noel on the ground, at which point I think that would shake me out of it enough to see him in that state, to approach and go to him as is my sort of first step out of that freezing that I was in.
Do you think it's pushing the body off of you, or kind of like just like more pathetically crawling out from underneath it?
I think probably more pathetic at this stage than than any sort of heroic move to do that.
It's the note that the thing that I'll illustrate here, I think, is again the perspective. In Philia, Philia is about the size, if not a little bit smaller, than the continent of Savednum. The country of Philia, continent of Savednum. The continent of Savednum has 7 different lands, which lies all has agents and stuff that it's worrying about in here. Philia was it just reaching out a little bit to see if they could do something there as well in your home country. So the kinds of creatures, or even the amount of creatures and presence there, felt like so much, but is turning out to be so little. And when faced with the reality of what these people are dealing with the Sovietic Empire, or what's left of it is dealing with, I think you've never felt less like a hero. You stood with heroes at one time, and you faced down what you thought would be the most terrifying person or creature who haunts you to this day. And I don't know if it's this in this moment, but at some point your mind will begin to wander and think about what kinds of beings or creatures are driving events on this side of things. As you crawl out from under the body, like winded already, you're also getting old. I think you can see like Noelle's pale, and the breathing is shallow and quick, and the eyes, although like not gone, I think as David kind of described the like confusion, you can see the like, I don't know where I am anymore. It's so cold in this land. Your breath kind of turning to steam, and you see the breath coming out of his mouth like barely has much presence. But you can crawl over to him, and the two of you can have a little scene.
I think I first just sit beside him and then sort of pull his head into my hands, which is just kind of, his body's just sort of like in my lap, I think. So just sort of looking down on him at this moment. Noel, the, does it hurt? Does it hurt anywhere?
I. Izzy, I. I can't see. I can't see.
It's not Izzy, mate. It's Gus. Do you What do you want me to tell him?
Gus, I can't move, Gus. I. Don't leave me here, Gus.
I'll be here till the end, mate. I'll be here till the end. We've not got long. What do you want to say to Izzy? I can tell him.
He's gotta live. He's
Right.
gotta live.
Okay. He will.
I
You
think
told me, I remember. I will remember.
in the chaos of this moment, I think maybe even like, I'll slow down. As the Legion is trying to hold the line or even press ahead, I don't think Gus is fully aware of what else is going on. So I think I'll just describe more or less your peripheral. You see Legion members somewhat advancing, but also like nearly as quickly getting torn apart, getting their souls sucked out. Other people, there's immediately just like the ground is covered in white and gold. And I think even like as our camera, mind's eye camera, kind of like looking down on the scene, can just see like the ground like adding more and more of this color. Another Legion soldier coming forward will try to grab Gus by his collar, and will say, "No time for grieving, soldier," before like something like a little crystalline fairy catches him in the eye and he stumbles back, and then like a crystalline devil jumps over you and like into him, then like into other Legion lions. So like doesn't even get to pull you up, but just like the chaos of the moment as continues to try to push forward. You can continue if you want in this moment though.
I think with Noel's last bit of strength, he grabs Gus in by the shoulder and pushes him off of him and says, "You need to fight. You need to live."
I will.
Before he steps away, he'll go to your belt and unbuckle like whatever sort of personal uh, like bag you would have where you would sort of keep your things. I would put your shield like on your chest so it was like you were sort of holding your shield, and then I would take your sword as well, and I'll put that on my belt and actually bring that with me. But I don't think he goes until he sees Noel is gone. Even if he thinks that I'm not there, I said I would be there till the end, and I will be there till the end.
I think it is a slow passing. I think in a couple of moments, Noel will reach the stage where like begins to lose speech, or at least clear speech, and might start like rambling or mumbling or very very like heartbreaking, almost whimper. But the events will continue on around you. As you kind of like look around, maybe even like holding his hand, just so you can feel that like presence of him moving a little bit. You see now that the Dark Imperium, the Sovetic Legion of the Darkspire, has joined the fight and is pushing forward. And you see that the stalling of the advance of the creatures and forces of lies is more on their presence than the Legion suddenly turning things around. We'll cut over to Redmond. A couple of moments back. As like the forces that your commander was in command of are decimated. There's still like people around, but
Yeah.
like things that you're responsible for, or could have been responsible for, are gone. As like things are falling apart, and you see this like secondary force kind of advancing through. What is like Redmond? What's happening in that nasty little brain?
I think he how this happened is like, he's passing orders from his commander or whatever, and he's watching, he's letting the commander know anything that they need to know, and then there's like, oh, this side's getting destroyed. Commander, what do you, and looks over and
She's
they're
gone.
losing their soul or collapsing from losing their soul right in front of him. And I think he's stunned. And I think the first thing he feels is himself as a child, and he's scared of feeling like that, so he pushes it away and grabs for, what he does know, the rules he has to follow. And there's an answer for what he has to do now. There always is. There has to be.
Make an intellect check. I'll presume is your character maybe experiencing a small amount of grief that is affecting his mental state?
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
most likely.
So we'll descend those dice most certainly.
Okay, so that's 3d8 instead of 3d10 and 1d4.
Mhm.
Jackassery. Whatever. I'll try. Okay. I haven't picked my d20 yet. Uh-oh. And now I roll you again. I forgot what I can do with my intel dice. Like reroll one.
It's tier 4, so score. Are you intellect optimized?
Yeah. Wait, yeah, I believe so. I'm 16
Wait,
points.
so yeah, so then that's definitely re-rolling, and it's definitely averaging. I'm pretty sure, because if
Okay.
it goes up to 20, then the only thing you have to gain is the fourth dice and dice breaking.
Yeah, it is. 16 is I can break one on one. So reroll the whole. 3, 2, a 4. Sorry, I should have had that ready. 27,
27.
because you descended me.
Yes, yes, I descended you. Nothing else. 27. I will consult the dice scale because
Okay.
I think in this moment, like 27, it shouldn't be difficult for your character to find some logic about what do. But I also think that in this moment, in this high stakes as well, right? Like being able to also process through everything, um, even beyond just like like the job is not just figure out what to do, but also like eliminate all other information and think clearly. Um, Simple resolving tension with a friend. Something somewhat complex comes in. Someone to do something they might not want to do. I think. I think with 27, I think Redmond is just like is trying to remember what the order of operations is like. I know I should be something, but it's just, like there's just like a logic loop in his head. I'll give you a moment if you want to characterize something about that, but something will break you very out of that very very quickly.
I think he's frozen. I think I want to go that direction. I think he isn't used to not knowing what to do next. Especially for the past year, he hasn't relied on what he thinks he should do.
Mm.
He relies on what he should do.
Uh, you will feel yourself be pulled back, and then a hand will grab you by like whatever armor you have on the front, and you will see that uh Semitic liaison, that Akindi, the person with a flaming head, um, will say, "Commander's dead.
Yes,
You're in charge now."
I, I
Um, uh, uh,
and he nods.
yeah. will like pull you in close and say, "Give commands." And then we'll kind of like toss you to the side. Ribbon probably fucking falls down as the
Yeah,
Semitic legion
I feel
coming
like
through.
his shield falls off
Oh yeah.
of his back because he didn't even have it on his arm, and so he's like scrambling to get that and stand up and to look to see what he does.
As you look around, I'll say following up that 27. I don't think so. You see that the front lines, your front lines are heavily like have taken heavy losses. I don't think you've realized how bad the mages got hit as well. Um, so there's the logic that'll give you is that mages heal help get front lines back up. Front lines continue. Um, uh, yeah, I'll let you decide how you shout that out and how you begin to boss people around.
I think it scares him when he does. And I think it's because it it didn't seem to really come from him to a degree. It came from the person he's trying to be, the person who follows these rules directly.
I think, not to cut you off, but I think also like probably the projection and like the power that comes from you in this moment, of at least getting the command out loud enough, probably comes from a fear of like not being that person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think I think his biggest fear, like one of the biggest problems I think he's going to have, isn't people disobeying him. It's feeling like they will, not
Mm-hmm.
trusting people,
Mm-hmm.
because he's used to not being listened to.
Um, Wonderful. We'll cut over to Ismarie. The command comes out to like add support to front line, do a magic. And as you like look out, there's like fucking no one here to do a big spell. There's like 13 people left, if not less. It's like which is not appropriate to the needs of the situation. What do you think Ismarie does in response to that? Does he just like kind of follow command, or does he do anything else in this moment?
Um, I think that if it doesn't feel appropriate to the situation in typical Ismarie fashion, no. Um, I think that, but I also don't think he's not somebody who's necessarily going to cower either.
Mm.
Um, I suppose my question would be, is there a better move that strikes him in this moment? Or am I just sort of like
Oh.
on my own there?
What are your social skills?
Uh, Fuck. Uh, I don't know. Nothing, maybe?
Well, because you're
Um,
tier 6 and you're 4 tiers of magic and 2 tiers of something else.
Slip.
Slip. Okay, so then yeah, make a luck check. So I don't know if you've done this
Okay.
before.
I
But the luck
have
check
not.
is 3d6.
Okay.
You're going to tell me the individual numbers, and I'm also rolling 3d6, and we're looking for matches in this moment. I'm going to say
Okay.
this is high stakes. So in regular luck, 1 match is mixed luck, 2 matches is good luck, 3 matches is perfect luck. Um, which I'm traumatized by from a different player. But in high stakes, 1 matches is bad luck, and then 2 matches is good luck. Yes, roll me and tell me your numbers.
Okay. 516.
516, 533. So bad luck, I think, just in this moment means like looking around and like I don't fucking know. People are dying. I think the thought enters the back of your head, although you can't see clearly the front lines because there's people in front of you between them. I think you're like I hope fucking Noel's alive still. Um, but yeah, I don't think Ismarie gets any ideas.
Okay, well then I'm gonna make a bad decision. I'm going to leave formation. I'm gonna go look for Noelle.
Okay.
I'm gonna push forward.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be an idiot right now.
So as Ismarie makes that decision, I think Redmond has also made a decision, which is that you need to go up and like not join the fight, but be closer
Mhm.
to the front. Redmond, you see, um, uh, your lines beginning to advance. Now with this like Svetic legion in front, and you see Gus on the ground, just like sitting there. Oh, Andy having headphone trouble. Okay. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
No, no,
someone
no.
else
It's
walking.
you
I'm
seeing. It's
so
you who
sorry.
sees Gus. So as Ismarie goes to go up front, you have already gone up front to see
Okay.
Gus, with Noelle. But I don't think you recognize or in this moment process it's Noelle who's dead, even if you'd care. But you see Gus not getting up.
Is there anyone around me that I could tell to get him, or is it just
Oh
like
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah, yeah.
individually?
There's yeah.
I think he'll direct like the closest like heavy group that he has to grab Gus and then join in the advance as we merge with another group or whatever.
I also think to help in my vision, because there's more like frontline soldiers than archers and mages combined. I think it's
Mhm.
like the right side that has taken the brunt of the shit.
Yeah.
So it's like I think you can pull people from the left to reinforce the right side, but also get like you three get that guy up. And Gus, you as your whole, like Noelle is still there, like still slowly fading. Probably in a moment at this point, just really quick, really shallow breaths, and almost like each time is like a little bit of sound, like a little bit of voice comes out of how quick it is. Just this like heartbreaking, like body slowly getting colder and shutting down. Like you feel as you're not moving around as much, the cold of this place as well, as mentioned before, and then suddenly, from like underneath your arms, you're like lifted up, and a similar sentiment of like you fight until you die, and just rips you away from Noelle. John, you're muted.
Sorry. I think as they touch me, I say, "Get your fucking hands off me."
Get back in the fight. Disobeying orders.
I don't care about orders.
I think one of the men will kind of look back at Redmond, um, to like I don't know how much is communicated through a look, but I think you see the difficulty. I think Gus has been pulled to his feet forcibly, and like two of them kind of have their hands on you. What Redmond do?
I think he has a lot more guts than I would in this scenario because people definitely just said, disobeying orders and like look to him. Um, and I think Redmond like pulls up to him, um, and probably doesn't do like any pointing, just like stands what he thinks is menacingly. Um, and he's like, feelings have no place in war. If we follow them, people die. Continue a fight to save, or we kill you here and leave you with the dead.
One of the one who looked back at Redmond, I think will pull out his weapon already, yeah, but probably like get in stance and level it at you.
This is not just enough for you, Redmond. That a good man dies with a friend. You don't
Good
think he's
men will
earned that?
die, especially if you don't keep your ass going. We need all the help we can get in this fight, or everyone dies. This isn't just about you.
It isn't about me.
Then get in the fucking fight.
Let me go. Let me go.
The two soldiers will look at Redmond first.
I think he'll start to walk away first, to get space between him and like Gus. That's strategically what he's doing, but he's scared of him.
Yeah.
He's a fucking weakling, let's be honest. But he turns away to hide any fear, and then just raises his hand to like signal to let them go, and then points to a group, and then walks away to where he needs to be next.
They,
You can follow him, obviously, but this is what he's gonna do.
they let you go.
Um, I walk up to Noel.
As you Noel, you moved a couple of feet away from him, and in that time, soldiers moving across to try to advance. You see that there is a boot print on his face, and on his chest as people just had to get through. And I think you see at this point he's no longer breathing.
And I think to just make it worse, in the background you hear Redmond yelling, "Medics! See if anyone's alive enough to keep fighting. If we have any medics left, that is
Ismarie
like
hears
loud
that.
enough for people to hear it."
I think as I see Noel, I just maybe put his face back right, clean it off a little bit so that it's not like as covered with everything. I'll maybe close his eyes and just say to like under my breath, "Sleep well, lad." And then I'll get up and move forward.
You continue on, and I think your reputation in the Legion absolutely plummets. So I don't know if we, in games generally, probably talked about reputation, but for the sake of the stream, reputation and mechanic, that basically is a reflection of characters' actions in the minds of the people they interact with. The principle being that if you go save a village, they're going to like you more beyond just like an advantage or whatever. I think within this Legion, if you talk to anyone, if you ask anything of anyone, I think it's like a negative 3d8 for the people, as the rumors will spread around about you for like Redmond's particular command. Absolutely disgraceful. Let's go back to Ismarie. So yeah, I think you hear from Redmond for the healers to find people who are alive enough to be brought back into the fight. And I think at this point can see from the perspective Redmond, but not Gus. I think like Noel and Gus just out of view amidst all the chaos, and like things are changing so much. There's so much advancement. Like every once in a while, a volley of arrows raining down. But yeah, you see Redmond. What is Ismarie doing?
I think he's kind of just looking around. His eyes are scanning, probably kind of in a panicked way, for Noel. Um, he wouldn't have given a fuck about anything Redmond had to say before, and he wouldn't now, even with what he doesn't know. Yeah, I think he's just looking for Noel.
Okay. Can let's do a contested luck check. Let's introduce another mechanic here. So Andy and Tucker will roll 3d6, but this time you're guessing how many matches you're going to get with me.
Mm,
And a
We
little
should
bit
call
of
Sam.
gambling.
Call
I
Sam
love
and
to
ask him
gamble.
to bless these.
Sam, bless Tucker's dice and not.
Get him
No,
here right
no.
now.
Bless mine so I can send a mage to keep Ismari distracted for the rest of the fight or kill him. Anyway,
I'll also say, if Ismarie or Tucker just does better, then Redmond won't see him. If you get the exact number that you call out, then I'll consider Ismarie being able to find Noel.
yeah. What are your numbers again, Jesse? Just tell me real quick, and I'll let you know what
You know
I
how that
do.
works. You guys,
You know, I'm gonna go a little dangerous. I'm gonna go for two.
2 matches.
Yeah. I bet Noel's body on two matches.
Um, oh boy. I'm also gonna go on 2 matches.
Okay.
I fear.
What are each of the numbers that you have? Let's start with Andy.
First number is 1, 3, 4.
Okay.
2, 2, 5.
Redmond. Uh, uh, the numbers I have are 5, 3, 1.
You did it.
2 matches for
No.
Redmond as he called out, and Ismarie is 1 off. So Redmond, you see Ismarie out of formation, like looking around. I think also as that you see that your mages are also fucking decimated, which is something maybe you clocked earlier. But regardless, Ismarie is not with them in this moment.
Yeah, I think. Did Redmond notice Noel
I don't
or
think
just
so.
Gus?
I think you saw Gus. I don't, unless you want to characterize otherwise. I don't think Redmond was being observant enough to realize who Gus was mourning.
No, no, I think that's good because I think if Redmond did, then Redmond would actively try to keep Ismari from knowing.
Mm.
I think instead he's doing it because he looks lost in the moment right now. And so he's gonna grab like a mage from a group or whatever and command them to assimilate, you know, Ismari and a few others, and then continue on the mission, whatever order I give next.
Mhm. Um.
And specifically to watch that one,
Okay.
Ismari.
So Ismarie, then you see someone kind of grabs you by the shoulder or like the arm, and we'll just say like, "Come on, we have to fight. We have to."
I think. I think that my heart calls to two different things. Ugh. I think that initially Ismarie resists this a bit, sort of like pushes off and continues sort of like scanning. I think he's scanning a lot of the bodies on the ground as well, in fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's necessarily like even initially like a conscious like I'm like fuck you. More it's just like somebody is attempting to pull him somewhere else and he wants to be here looking. And so initially like there is a resistance.
least initially a resistance? Does he change, or do you want me to take a direction with that?
I think that if nobody pulls harder, he will just continue to do what he's
Oh yeah,
doing.
you'll get yanked pretty hard. I think. To almost a point where this person seems like they want to like fucking clock you.
Real.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's pretty aggressive.
Um, I think that there is like potentially a thought, maybe in some naivete of it is only dead here left. Anyone continuing to move, like is like, alive is continuing to move.
Mm.
There is like this hope of finding him ahead.
Wonderful. Andy, can you give me one last luck check here?
Yes, please. I like them. Uh-oh. Okay. 442.
442. 1, 3, 4 mixed luck. Over the next 30 minutes, I think well over half of the group that was here under Larice's command is gone. You like do the Legion thing of like telling people to continue, but it's just the more that's pressed into the city and in this conflict, the like more disorienting it gets. There's these big obelisks that are shooting beams and blittering people. It's just bad, but with the Sovetic Legion in front, with the Dark Imperium in front, it's like suddenly it's more workable and livable, and maybe that even like the survivor bias or whatever of like Redmond probably starts to think that he's actually doing well, all things considered. But I think at a certain point, like, so much is going on that a bit of a melee begins to break out. And I think that's where we will find our characters together for a proper combat for everyone. So I think at this point, like, archers have really like been dispersed and kind of start taking up positions in buildings. Nicodemus maybe like was in something that got shifted down, like a building that lost its wall and you fell, but not in a way that's, well, actually, now that I said it, Jacob, can you roll me a luck check? we love these little luck
Damn
checks.
it.
We love these little luck checks.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1,
Whoa.
4, 4. So I think I'm gonna take a buffer away from you, and maybe 3 stamina for the top of this engagement.
Okay.
But I will. How do I? I'm trying to slow down for these things so I don't like get way ahead. Sometimes you need to like reorient yourself in your mind. DMing tips. It's broken out into a melee. Redmond, I think at this point, like, you're giving commands, but there's just not the structure for commands to be delivered effectively, and that's where the breakdown is happening. Which at this point, like, you're becoming less and less useful in this fight, but also it's advancing in such a way that, like, are we at the end? I think so. Gus, you've continued to see people die around you and in front of you, and you've managed to stay alive somehow. As the melee breaks out, I think Ismarie for the first time catches eyes with Gus, and then sees Redmond. So I think Gus is most central, most upfront. Ismarie sees like a tired and harried Gus. Redmond kind of looks around and sees like people who are there and listening. including Nicodemus, who's just a little bit behind, who's like maybe picking himself up off the ground, making sure his bow's okay. And Nicodemus can see Redmond. So Redmond kind of central command in this combat. One of these, the Abetic Imperium. So the people who were taken, imbued with this red crystalline power, and turned into knights for the forces of lies, facing down a single one of these. First, we'll negotiate movement. So in an engagement, movement is decided beforehand, and then we go through the equivalent of initiative. So right now, Gus is in the path of this thing, and also like don't really have a tank here. How is everyone moving? Is Gus just standing his ground to let this thing come to him?
Yeah, but I think the one thing I would do is wherever Ismarie is, I would put myself in between the creature
Okay.
and him, just remembering Noel's final wish. So that would be, I would just kind of shift direction.
Ismarie, Gus, and Redmond are all in a triangle, more or less, each like a short distance away from the other. So Redmond's a little bit more off to the side. Ismarie's behind, directly behind, and Gus is up front. And then Nicodemus is like a medium distance behind that, or behind Gus, behind the front. So short 20-ish feet, medium 40-ish feet. David died, but he also said he had to go, so that's okay. Where was I? So yeah, in that case, the night will close with you, and now we will decide what to do. So this is a bit of teaching for Tucker. Everything in Legacy and Saga Combat happens at the same time. So we'll first kind of decide what we're doing, and then if you understand what you're rolling for, just roll for it. And I will do the same, but of course, stop me if
That
you
won't
have
be
any
me.
questions. Also remember, and it's fair if we if as a character choice we do not do collective actions this round, but collective action, there are some creatures that like cannot be dealt with on your own. So remember our silly little collective actions. But yeah, I'm gonna roll my thing. D20 first.
The question for I think, does this thing have any shield, Jesse, or no?
No, I do not think it wields a shield, but it is very well protected.
I'm pretty nervous here.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go magic, and I have no idea how this works. Really, very bold of me.
Very bold.
Very ambitious.
Very bold.
Mm-hmm. What are the kinds
see how
of
I do.
magic that you have?
To my understanding, unless I'm deeply wrong,
Mm-hmm.
I have some destroyer stuff, some oracle stuff, some healer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
More particularly, I have quite a bit that I've sort of like picked out, like for like my easy ability to remember about taking away or adding to certain dice rolls
Yes.
of others. So I am thinking maybe I will utilize that.
Indeed. Also, I'm so hot. I have no AC, and I'm getting so hot. I meant to make a joke at the start of the session that my name is Toast A.T. William. Yeah. Which one do you want to do? I can maybe help you out a little bit with doing the thing.
I think
Do you have not to, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if it looks like if it looks like Gus and this thing are about to engage, because I know that in Ismarie's mind, he's like, I gotta get to Gus.
Yeah.
Gus is also kind of front lines. He'll know where Noelle is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like in that attempt, Gus also has to be alive.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I think if it looks like they're about to engage, he's either going to depending on like what kind of works, attempt to um uh add something to like Gus's attack or take away from the like the combatants.
Yeah. So do you have Wrath?
I do. I do have that.
Um,
Um, yeah.
Critical might
I
be
also
the
have, yeah, I have Pure Wrath, I have Critical. I also have Forebode, where you're taking away from things, but I do
Oh.
have Wrath and Critical.
Let me just look at Forebode. Is Forebode in
Oracle, you choose a target within a short distance, you can take away your magic dice from their next roll.
in Foresight with Fate Weaver or Prophet?
I think it's in, I'm
Forebode.
dumb.
Oh, it's Foresight. You choose a target within and you can take away your magic dice from their next roll. Um, yes. So something I'll
I
say.
don't know which one feels better. Yeah, give me
Critical would
the
make more
insights.
sense.
Okay.
When we have a creature that we're dealing with,
Mhm.
uh, their vessel for resisting things is the same as yours, called contest. But creatures
Mhm.
generally have a lot more contest power than a person. So
Okay.
you could successfully do the spell. They would contest it, and that would use a resource of theirs, but they'd probably like slide through it because
Be
there's also
fine.
with this
Yes.
high discrepancy between powers of each side. But for critical, what you could do, which would be hugely helpful, there's a condition in Magic that's target. So there's the base to do any spell is 10 plus the control, and then if you wanted to do that spell to another person, then you add the target. So
Mm,
aiming for a 20, you could target a Gus and Nicodemus and turn both of their rolls into criticals, which means they ascend their dice and hit hopefully much heavier. Um, so
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
That feels like the vibe then.
Okay.
So what am I roll? What's
S-
happening?
so I believe you're tier 4 of Magic.
Yes.
So you have 20 d10s as a pool. So you roll a d20 for a spell plus an amount of d10s you decide beforehand
Okay.
to hit that. In this case, the target of 20.
Okay.
And then just
Do
keep.
need to worry about like distance +3?
No, because all of them are in the distance conditions of the spell. They're both within
Okay.
short
And
distance
then
for you.
sorry to take up a little bit of time, but also to gain understanding. So when we're looking at it says control +6, target +4.
Yeah. So
Um,
base 10, any spell you need to account for control. So control, if you're just doing it on Gus, it would be 10 plus 6, so 16. And then target, because you're also targeting Nicodemus with this, is the +4.
oh, okay. So does control change when I'm targeting more than one person?
That's what the target condition is for, right?
Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
yeah. And then keeping track of your dice once you've rolled, just take note of which d10s are less than 6. So 1 to 5, because those will decay from your pool and you'll reclaim the rest into your pool.
Okay.
Oh, did we get to recover that stamina that we had lost, Jesse, or was
I
that?
think that the stamina you lost contributed to your deficit to this moment. So like as you're fighting, there's like an up and down, and I think that was like a down that you hadn't recovered from. Is it was what I'll choose to interpret.
Okay, so we would start this engagement at the same not recovering.
Yes, yeah, and recover in future. Tucker.
As far as dice rolling goes in this game,
Mhm.
I roll the d20, I roll a number of
D10s of your choice. And, yeah.
d10s of my choice. Do I roll those all at the same time? Can I pick how many d10s I'd like to roll following the d20 roll?
Always
What's the
before the
vibe?
D20 roll. So
Always
it's always
before the
it's always
d20.
a gamble, right? You're gambling
Okay.
with your resources. Yeah.
Okay.
But always roll the d20 before you actually roll those
In case you
dice
roll
you've
a 1
decided.
or a 20, because then that'll affect that might change the dice you're rolling. But we'll get there if we get there.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful.
That's-
So Ismary's doing that. So then we'll have to wait on Nicodemus and Gus's rolls for Ismary. What's Redmond doing?
I think Redmond is going to use. He has two actions at action elements
Mhm.
at tier 6. So the first one he's going to use. I'm going to send an ally's roll as an action element.
Hell yeah.
And I haven't decided if Nicodemus or Gus. And I think if you were acting on feeling, it would be Nicodemus who's acting on like what he should be, it would be Gus.
Mhm.
How do you think I should determine that?
I think um I think Redmond thinks he's thinking clearly. I think Redmond um uh uh has a personal preference towards Nicodemus, that
Okay.
because of Gus's like insubordination earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so clear-minded, best option is obviously the archer,
Mhm.
uh not the guy protecting the mage and myself.
Yes.
Yeah, so he'll uh use the ability shot calling, and I think that's just telling Nicodemus to shoot the knight. And I don't know how it makes it ascend, if I'm being
Well,
honest.
it's so shot calling. Well, it's intellect.
It is an improved
Oh,
skill.
improve skill. Let me look. Shot calling. An instant you can just send allies roll as an action element. So you could technically do that too. So in this case, the improved skill is interpreted as you see something that Nicodemus doesn't. So you
Mm,
you could see like, oh, this knight has already taken damage to an armor. Aim for that, and then Nicodemus
okay.
can take that and be like, yes, I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I think then I think he'll point out just a blind spot that he noticed.
Hmm.
Like, the left side is they can't see as much as they can out of the right side.
Hell yeah. Yeah, with the way that it holds the sword
Yeah.
blocks it. Yeah. Um,
And I think for the other action element, I think he's just going to defend,
mm,
but he's going to step next to Gus in front of Ismary, who is the mage, not because he cares for him, but
mhm.
because it's what he is supposed to do,
Hell yeah.
especially in this small combat group.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Tucker, do you have your result?
I think so. I think I mostly understood everything, but I think there's also just like a certain element with every TTRPG that is like you just gotta play the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I rolled, and I don't know how much is a lot of D10s to roll for my pool, so I was like, fuck it, we'll roll six. That's an amount. Um, uh, uh, I remember you said something in below gets reabsorbed into the pool.
So if any of the d10s that rolled 6 or above reabsorbed in the pool, everything else leaves your pool.
Oh, okay. Um, so on the D20, I rolled 11.
Okay.
And then on the D10s, I rolled a 7, a 7, a 4, a 1, a 2, and a 1. So two ones, a 2, a 4, and two sevens. So
So losing 4 dice have well overshot the 20 that you needed. Um,
I'm
uh,
scared.
but that means that both Jacob and John don't need to account for their d20 rolls anymore. Each of them ascend once, and then from Andy's thing, Nicodemus ascends a second time. So Jacob is rolling d14s unless he has another condition that he's doing that ascends his dice, and then John ends up rolling d12s.
Okay, so under aiming with my bow, if when I earn an opportunity by holding a position, has that been met,
I
or what
think
does it mean to
I
earn?
think under this condition, Because of that poor luck just beforehand, I think you're kind of stumbling and then get into action. So I don't think you earn
Okay.
an opportunity beforehand, but I'll kind of explain again for Tucker and for others listening. To earn an opportunity. So we kind of think of like if everything happens at once in Legacy and Saga combat, how do we strategize? And that's through opportunities. So an opportunity through holding position means that like you are staying in the same position. Maybe you're waiting around a corner and someone is forced to close distance coming at you. So you have that extra time where you are firing at them, and getting that extra shot in. That condition is not met currently.
Okay. So in that case, I might also need some walking through this because I've only ever had like one engagement that lasted one round with a kid with a knife, basically. Scallywag.
Scallywag with a knife.
All right, so I may use the tier 2 ability aim. So when I make an attack as an element, which I should have, do I have two elements?
I think all of you have 2 elements. Yeah.
Okay. Before I roll, I can add half the value of the stamina dice to attack, and if I hit, then it's double gets added to the damage. So in that case, with a bow, I roll the d20. I can use a heavy bow. What?
Yes.
Is there damage? Do I roll a dice for the bow?
Yes.
The arrow or both?
It's now just bow. It used to be bow and arrow, but that became too complicated to worry about. Let me scroll down to find. I'm gonna guess it's right there. Dang it. Ambidexterity, aiming. And teacher when you make an element before you roll it. To dice plus your base ammunition element to use stamina with a weapon. So 2 things. Your bow has a so you heavy bow, 2-handed tier 3 range aim, far distance, force space. Do you have? Are you a strong archer?
No, mine is. I'm focused on slip.
Okay, so then you would just have a we'll call it like a D8 for your weapon, for your bow.
Okay.
And then whatever stamina for bows, because bows are actually like take a lot of strength to use. Bows have what's called a force base, which means that you can use your strength, or your force rather, to use a bow, which gives you like that small extra pool of dice, and then you add stamina separately from that. Yeah, you're not benefiting from that. So yeah, so it'd just be a D8 plus your stamina, which again is D8 would be up to a D12, and then D10s, whatever of your stamina, would be up to D14s because of the critical and the thing. And keep in mind that your D20s also add a 20 because of Ismarie.
Okay. So D20 plus a D10 instead of a D8. And then you said it would be D14s for stamina.
Sorry, a D12 instead of a D8, and then D14s
Okay.
for stamina.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to do 4 stamina dice. So that would be 8s and 6s.
Those
Okay.
dice plus 40.
I'm about to roll a bunch of dice.
Oh, what was my D2015? Okay, as you do that, I'm also going to start resolving my stuff.
Okay.
Gus, does a 30 hit you?
Yeah, 20.
Okay. So you are going to be very lucky in which I only on my dice rolled well enough to do a single element. That element is going to be a severe injury, and you're also going to take 65 points of damage.
Okay. I have a few things that I can do for this. First, I'd like to buffer the severe. I also have something called armor buffer.
Yeah,
Can I
you
use
can.
both of those at the same time?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Then I would like to do that to get that down, I guess, to a minor.
Okay, so one regular buffer, one armor buffer to take a severe to a minor. Okay,
Yeah. Because I can't use multiple armor
you can.
buffers at the same time. Oh, I can.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can blow through your armor if you want. That's what it's
That
there
might
for.
be worth it,
Yeah.
just not to get the injury. So I'll do that. So I'll just take that completely into my armor, and then I'll knock my resistance down. And then oh, that damage is nasty though. So I do have reduced a couple of things with reduced damage. Sorry, this is getting. I can use stamina to try to reduce that, so I'm going to do that.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so can reduce that by 9. Oh, actually, tier 2, you can use a contest to block the attack if the d20 is lower than your shield's durability.
Mm.
Oh, but I don't know.
Oh, the d20 was 15, so I think
Oh, yeah, there's
yeah.
no way. Yeah. Okay. So that is, I can reduce that by 9, but that's still over my max.
Mm-hmm. So hitting 0 hit points, and that's so that's your resistance is 9, and then plus the
Oh yeah,
stamina
sorry, I
roll.
didn't add my actual resistance, which would be, you said 65, sorry.
Yeah.
So that would be another 8, 17, 65 minus 17 is 48, which is it is my max.
So still brings you to 0.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a newer development. This is a system that's in development. But if you are brought to 0 hit points, so two things potentially happen. One, if you have an injury, that becomes a permanent injury, and also if you are injured while you have 0 hit points, permanent injury. But number two, your dice also descends. The idea that you've been winded a little bit, so you're gonna have a little bit more trouble moving forward.
Could I use my swing here?
A better resource might be edge dice, which I think everyone should have. I don't know if we discussed at length, but we would.
Yeah, because I don't have any noted griefs, so I
Yeah.
didn't know if I had edge
Yeah.
dice.
I think maybe the haunting of the Oracle of Cracked Eyes is at least one.
Right.
I'll go over edge dice what they are at the end of the session for people who don't know, but so this would be a perfect circumstance for edge dice. You can truly use edge dice for anything. In this case, you can use it to further your resistance.
Okay.
And tier 6 would be D14.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I rolled 8 on that. So I said so I would be at 8,
Mm-hmm.
8 H or health left.
Hell yeah. But hell yeah. Okay, so that's and what did Gus roll?
Yeah. So I rolled adding the dice, and then everything else, it was 55. With
55.
and I have a couple things on crits because I
Hell
am
yeah.
have blunts. Um, so on a crit, they would take a minor break. They would be off balance. And how does this person hold their weapon
Uh, uh, Big sword in hands.
in two hands?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so then it doesn't get disarmed.
Okay. So 55. So 35 would be damage. But 55 total. That's 5 damage. And then minor break, which they will. No, I'll contest that. I'll be a saucy little boy and contest that. 55. I'm gonna use 2 contests. Um. Yeah, that'll probably do it. 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah. Um. Uh. Incredible. So contest eating stuff up for this round, and then off balance as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I have all my dice rolled.
Give them to me.
Okay. So with my stamina dice halved, I rolled a total of 39. I'm
39.
assuming that hits this thing.
It does not.
Oh. So then that misses.
Yes.
Severely underestimated this guy.
Did you add
Indeed.
the 22, Jacob?
Yeah. I halved my stamina dice to try and do
Yeah.
double damage.
Yeah.
So it was just a 16 on the D20.
Just in case it makes the difference, did you add the 1 for every dice that you rolled?
Oh, true.
Because
I
it was
mean, yeah.
Oh, +1 for every dice.
Yeah. You'd have to have rolled 11 dice though, because the protection of this thing is 50. Unfortunately.
I unfortunately rolled exactly 10 dice.
Oh, rough. 1 point away. Jeez Louise.
Can I
Okay.
do anything?
No, absolutely
No,
not.
no, not unless I knew beforehand.
Exactly. But that's part of the risk. So numbers
Oh,
resolved. We will then narrate what happens. So starting with Ismarie, what is your like critical magic as you apply it to these 2 people? What does that look like for you?
Um, be honest, I had not thought about this yet. I had not considered um what the vibes are. I think because I am not very familiar with magic within this world or like within this system. So it's a little harder for me to kind of immediately, I think, envision um like generally what it looks like. Here's what would be my question. Is there a more common way it presents itself, or is it pretty specific person to person?
I think um the like base thing for magic for me is that unless a person interprets it differently, if no one has any personality in their magic, the base is like light blue. But
Mhm.
so I guess the question would be for yourself of like whether Ismarie has a personality that he puts into his magic that changes it, or if it's just base. But the thing with magic is that unlike a certain Lizards and Grottos game, it's extremely flexible, right? So it's like much more of your control. You are choosing 2 different people. You're guiding the spell to create that thing to happen.
Um, okay. Are there typically like a lot of like verbal or like
That's up to you.
I think that because so much of him learning to cast was really centered around um and so much of the way he learned magic was centered around helping, buffing, saving Noel in any given way. I think the personality that has been added to it is, you know, more in line with Noel than even himself, and his own perception of Noel, which I think makes it something that is very like incredibly light and airy. Um, to the point where I think that it could even like, if you're not paying attention and depending on like the lighting and you could almost not see it at all. Because it kind of just like appears like, a bit of light filtering through. Um, sort of in his again like own perception of the way that Noel makes him feel.
Mm.
Um, I think it is warmer than Ismarie has ever been, like the physical feeling of it on you.
So a little element of warmth that burns into a temptive critical for Nicodemus and Gus. As Redmond will call out that kind of like blind spot for Nicodemus, and you take aim. What are Gus's and Nicodemus's hits look like?
I just realized I misinterpreted the critical thing. I
Mm.
rolled a d20 instead of taking the d20 as a 20.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that boosts me by 4 and gets me over 50.
Hell yeah. Okay, that makes a huge difference. So what was the
So that I do 77 points of damage.
incredible. Okay, so much better. Okay,
Yeah.
So it does work out. Okay, so 77 minus a number plus a number is that much number. Incredible. But yeah, so in that case, you do hit. What do your numbers look like, or your hits look like?
I think for Nicodemus, I am recovering from falling out of that building or whatever, taking a deep breath, kind of just focusing in, getting ready to aim at one place. And then between the magic, I guess kind of invigorating him and Redmond calling out a weak spot, I make a slight adjustment with my bow, let loose the arrow as I take a deep exhale and watch the arrow shoot off towards that weak spot.
Hell yeah.
I think for Gus, it's very much sort of balls to the wall. So like he goes in just with everything, and that opens him up at the same time for that big hit that he takes. But I think he just spins this big ass flail that he has and is just trying to crank this thing across the face, feeling probably a similar magic. Like I feel like he's been imbued with things like this before, so knows that feeling of what it is and that sort of juicing up. So he just tries to give it everything that he has in that moment.
Hell yeah. Yeah, as the like arrow absolutely finds its target, I will strike this thing and I think like move its stance slightly as it comes down on Gus. I think it hits you first and like shreds away some of your armor as you just like crack it on like the side of the head, and it like moves a little bit, and it's like helmeted, but is like a person under there. I mean, it's not like huge thing like the like the other knight, the false knights, but it just like doesn't behave as much like a human. So this is where I'll use, some of you probably already know about the utility of collective actions. With a creature like this, its resistance is 30. Its protection's 50. Meaning that if everyone's trying to do their own thing against it, we are absolutely like wasting our resources, because we're, Nicodemus barely hit 50. Gus did 5 damage to it. Although you did, your injury with that, you did a minor injury. With contests alone, right? It's eating through that. So collective action, if everyone works together, you can much more effectively get past that protection and those hit points, as you don't take 30 off of each hit, but rather the collective. And then once its hit points are done, then it can't contest injuries, which means then you eat through its buffers and this and that and that. Still a terrifying and dangerous creature, as it like barely is impacted, a person barely impacted by these things. Between engagements, we also have brief scenes where characters can like talk to each other. So I think the setup for this scene is that hits have just gone through and this thing is still going. So I think Gus for a couple of seconds is like backing up with Redmond as the group of you are reassessing before the next hit, which also the choice could be like fucking run. I think for Redmond in particular, there's a bunch of other people around fighting, but who are like busy. But if you want to make the character choice to like try to call them in despite them being busy, that could be up to you. But all that to say, what are all these characters saying and doing in this moment between blows?
I have a real quick question. I used my last element to defend, and that uses stamina dice to up my resistance
Mhm.
for that instance.
Mhm.
Nothing hit me. I still lose those stamina dice,
Yes.
and I don't
Presuming,
gain the resistance after that
yeah.
instance.
Presuming it's that's a resource that's expended, right? But it's or rather to say, uh, uh. So also help me direct. Which is this armor or is this movement?
It's just fundamental element of warrior.
Oh, so
Yeah,
interesting.
defend.
Defend. You can use your action to or action element to use stamina dice to increase your resistance. Um, uh, but is that an element, an action, or an element? You can use action to recover an extra stamina dice. Best using certain instances. Parent attack. I guess suppose. As opportunity contest with stamina dice. Main attack and choose disarm instead of doing damage. Term is gonna think. I think the defend might have required a
Full action.
full action. So I think
Then I didn't use it.
yeah. But you're even on stamina either way.
Stamina back to basic.
I push Redmond out of the way, and I go to Ismarie.
I think
Because
I think Redmond was moving to take your spot.
Mm.
Being that we are the close range fighters of the
Yeah.
two here,
Mhm.
it would make sense for you get a hit for me to step in, even if I'm going to die. That's what we need to do.
Mhm.
right, and actually, let me ask a question, Jesse, about how these sort of in between scenes work. Because actually, it probably doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
to,
it's like a couple of seconds,
you, like-
right? It's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the pressure is still on, and it the purpose of these is sometimes to like have a character do a quick check in. If
Yeah.
you and Ismarie were close, it might make sense, kind of, to be like, Noel has passed. But in this moment, it might be a thing. The scene might be Redmond telling Gus to like step behind, or like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Redmond says it because John already said that Gus was backing up, or Jesse did.
Mm.
And I think it would just be natural. And I think uh, it would have to be Gus who says something
Mm.
to either interrupt that or stop it.
I don't think I do, and instead of going to Ismarie, I take that pack off of my side, because knowing that if I take another hit like that, like I'm going down, and I don't want it to be lost, so I take that pack off and I throw it to Ismarie just to make sure that that is passed off. And I just sort of hold a gaze, I think, for a moment as I do that. before turning back to the creature.
Hell yeah.
I think if there's still, oh, unless you were
I
going to
think
say
Tucker's
something.
processing. I've
If
seen the
you have
long.
something to say, you can say it right now. I just, you know.
Mm,
See. See. See.
Um, I mean, it's Noel's pack, right? And so there is like this kind of slow, he catches it and oh, this is Noel's pack. Um, and I think that the world drowns out. I don't really think he's paying attention to anything anymore. I think he's just holding it in his hands, and looking at it, maybe opening it up. But I think he's clocked out at this point officially.
okay. Um. And anything for Nicodemus?
No, I think he's just kind of holding. He's up in his position,
Yeah.
just getting ready to take more shots at this thing.
Hell yeah. So, also note stamina. You recover at tier 4, 2 dice between every instance.
I thought it was three,
I think
right?
that's
Because
at
don't you take one when you recover one at tier 1?
when at
Tier
tier
5
1.
is 3.
When at tier 1, at tier 3,
Okay.
you have 2. At tier 5, you have 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Um, but yeah. So in that case, would we consider Nicodemus holding position here?
Uh, yeah. I think because he's still further back than everyone else,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Then he wouldn't have had any reason to move.
Okay. So then I think Redmond and Gus can back up a little bit. Ismary's dissociating. Um, uh, ba, 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 ba. When you
And
do get an
I'll
opportunity,
maybe I'll say something there just because I don't think Gus is thinking strategically like at this moment either. Like strategically would be not doing that,
Mhm.
knowing that that may be a risk, but he's really just thinking emotionally in this state as well at this stage.
um, uh, hell yeah. I think also Redmond probably would be the one who would notice how tough this thing is and would probably get people to like coordinate together. So if I'm interpreting what Jacob's about to do correctly, using your opportunity, forgo it to make your next your action a critical.
I was going to use hold position to ascend my stamina dice,
Oh, also that.
and then
Upon your holding position, your stamina dice ascend for the opportunity. You also ascend on any target who is not moving or large. I don't think, because you'd have to go it alone on an opportunity and your low stamina. I don't think that's the best use of the ability because yeah.
So yeah, then would critical would mean this instance I wouldn't do any action, but then I would get a automatic critical in the next action.
No, so an opportunity is like an extra hit before the instance. So
Okay.
that's why using holding position to ascend your dice for an opportunity, or when you earn an opportunity by holding position, which you've done, your stamina dice ascend for the opportunity. So because you're already low dice, right? You're doing a target alone. To hit that 50 again might be a bit of a tough one. But if it's a collective action here, forgoing your opportunity and then giving everyone collectively a critical. So that means
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that would apply. So that would apply to the whole group.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a circumstance like this. So in that case, so this time, no one needs to roll a d20. Just presumed it's 20. Is Marie not acting because he's breaking down? What are all the things that people are doing here?
I have a question.
Mhm.
My warrior traits,
Mhm.
origin abilities.
Mhm.
Are those elements?
It maybe.
Doesn't say.
Which ones do you have?
Hard to read and tactical.
Hard to read and tactical. And what are they under?
Uh,
Tactical institution traits. You can use your intellect to observe and gain insight how a creature fights, ascending your dice when you fight them. You can take it as first year origin ability. I think that would maybe have to be used on an opportunity or outside of combat. And then hard to read. You can you take that one? Or second hit, yes, you can. Add your charm or deceive to one attack in an instance. This is going to be taken as secondary. I thought that would probably be an element.
it should be, but
Yeah.
I was just wondering. Okay.
Yeah.
And then anticipate. During an instance, you can add your improved dice to any action taken.
I'll also say, actions have to be concurrent, right? It's like an action. Can we think about like elements of an action? You're attacking, and adding your as a secondary element, adding your deceive to this, doesn't make sense at the same time to also be helping someone out, right? It's like
No.
choosing
Yeah,
here.
this is for myself.
Oh, okay.
It's anticipate for myself, and then hard to read.
Let me read anticipate. I think the
Because
anticipate
it doesn't say
is
to
intellect?
any. No, improve.
Improve. Anticipate.
Improve 3.
Ability. During an instance, you can add your improved dice to any action taken. I'm
trying to change
I think
some things together.
You'd be doing. Yeah, I think in this case, improve is largely interpreted as like an assistance thing. So it's like when you're doing improving, you're like on the battlefield saying, do this, do that, like you're taking time to intake the situation. I think that's a separate action than doing an attack yourself.
Okay. So that'll be explained a bit more.
Yeah, but also adding your deceive. Your first element is doing the attack. Your second element is adding the deceive to it. So you're already at your 2 elements.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand everything. And I
Yeah.
didn't know if it was an element because it doesn't say it's an element.
Oh, I see, because it doesn't.
And then also there's another ability where I can reroll one of my improve ability. I'm just wondering how much dice I could get in there together.
Yeah. The amount of dice that you're rolling is already adequate.
Hey, I'm just trying to understand.
He's trying to make sure.
I'm trying to
We're
break
trying
it
to
so you.
live here.
I'm trying to break
have
it so you
30
have to
dice.
fix it and be ready for people like me. You understand? Gotcha. I'm trying to make this viable.
I did 59 damage.
Okay, incredible.
And this is a improvise 3. You can participate in a collective action without counting as part of a participant's descending dice. You can move a tier of descending dice from having 200 participants. When you use this skill, you improve dice. You roll your improved dice with the collective action.
Okay.
That would be an element, or would be an element.
The collective action accounting is also something that's not fully implemented right now. So just let's keep it simple and not worry about it.
Okay, yep.
But
So
like
just-
there's a handful of rules that go with that, which I'll
Mhm.
talk about as you roll the dice. But for right now, or that is math that's preparing to incorporate momentum. So momentum is a rule where basically it's a little resource that as you have a successful individual roll, you can expend for collective actions. But there's upper bounds of collective actions where it's like only a certain number of people can participate before it just begins to become too messy. We're not worrying about that right now. But eventually,
especially because we have a smaller group.
Yeah, improve is setting up to help resolve that issue.
So I would have to choose coordinate or another one of the elements I'm picking, correct? Because I can't use all three of those because I only have two elements right now.
Well, yeah, you have two elements, which again, if you're using the hard to read, the first element is your attack. The second element is adding deceive to the attack. So they're already accounted for.
Yep. And if I want to add improve to the collective action, I would then have to lose the deceive to my own attack.
Yeah.
I rolled 58, and as my second action element, I'm using pin. So on a post instance opportunity, you can pin a target and earn a post instance opportunity that any character can take advantage of.
Okay. So sans D20, 59 and 58 for Gus and Nicodemus?
Oh, that's with the 20 added in.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Because it was a critical because of Jacob's
yes,
thing, right?
but for purpose of damage, it's so collective action, for the purpose of me interpreting numbers, all of your stuff is added together.
Right, yeah. So it's 39. Yeah.
13, okay.
Yeah, 38.
39, 38, okay. So 20 plus 39 plus 38 plus whatever Andy rolls.
Yes. So
I should also roll my freaking thing. We'll count it. Plus 2d6 plus a d4. Oh, yikes.
36 from me.
36.
Without the D20 and without the extra dice points. Because it's a crit. Do we want to add those as well?
Yeah, those as well, yeah.
Okay, so then I rolled 7 dice.
18, 19. So plus 7. So 43.
43.
Okay. Does I lost the math. 4 plus 4 plus 2, 10, 18. Does a 19 hit Redmond?
Yes, protection is 18.
Incredible. I'm also. Oh wait, no, I can. Severe injury to you, sir, and math. 8 plus 6 plus 1, 14, 15, 55 points of damage to you. Okay, I'm gonna do quick math to add stuff up, and then we're gonna go back into scenes. So 20, and then 39, 38. Let's do it like this. 10, 10. 70, 80, 90. Did it have 90 hit points left? Did not. Okay, cool. That will be my math, so it's at 0, which means no more contests, which means pin happens. Were there any injuries that were attempted to be delivered in that last hit?
No, I don't have that.
One would have been, again, because it was a crit, minor break.
Yes. So
that just happens. It's not an element.
Yeah. Okay, so that's then one first buffer down. Okay, cool, incredible. Everyone's rolled their dice. We all did this stuff. Oh no, I'm Andy's accounting for his thing. I'll give you a moment for that.
So sigh. I don't have my buffers on this for some reason. I know what they are. They're all 4.
Yeah.
But I don't have them here, which is very stupid.
It's also on your little screen in front of you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I meant on my document.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sacrifice two buffers, sacrifice some resistance to buffer all the severe down to
Okay.
nothing. Um, then I'm going to sacrifice two stamina for contest for blocking. You can contest to expend a stamina dice when you're hit with an attack to reduce damage at twice the value of your stamina dice.
Mhm. So you're losing that stamina dice from your pool, and then it's becoming the value, which means not rolled, but just if you're at a D6, becomes 12.
I am, yes. So I'm gonna do two, both three, so
Well,
six,
I
right?
think if the wording that I just said, right? Because it's you. Does it say roll or does it say
Oh, you're right. You're right.
you expend a
Yeah.
dice? So expend, which
A
means that
stamina
it's
dice. Okay, only
yeah.
one dice.
Mhm.
So then I get 12 resistance. Not resistance, but
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Oh, I actually would have gotten a little. I did that wrong then. I
How
actually would be at a
much
little bit
damage was
higher
it?
health than I was. I think I'm at. I didn't realize you doubled it because I used blocking on that hit.
Mhm.
So I'd actually be at 16.
Okay. 55.
Okay, so then minus 5, and then minus 12, and that's how much damage I take.
Okay. Incredible. So into the narration, well, I guess I'll let you write stuff down, and then we'll do. How does everyone work together this time? As this thing is bearing down on all of you.
I think Redmond very bad at hitting stuff, but he does what he's supposed to. He looks like I guess, for the first time, a normal-ish soldier. Nothing special.
Okay.
I
I
think
think.
as oh,
Oh,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
Jacob.
Okay. Um, I think as Redman is stepping up, um, uh, Nicodemus takes a shot, fires it into tries to aim for like a joint in like the knee or something to kind of lock it up. Um, and then is like shouting to back to Redmond, like, "Oh, watch out for this!" Like, kind of calling out what he sees is going to happen from his vantage point.
I think I'm just coming in like literally on Redmond's back, almost like just sort
Mm.
of, and then as goes one way, I just sort of faint to the other direction and come like trying to around the back of its head, I guess, as
Mhm.
it's distracted with him.
Yeah. As this time you coordinating, like Redmond probably wouldn't be able to meaningfully hit this thing on its own. Um, or he'd be like really struggling with his lack of like warrior ability. But like being able to time and coordinate, especially with this like pin as it goes into the joint or whatever, um, and it like locks up, uh, uh, yeah, is much more harried. It does at the same time will like just again strike Redmond more or less like head on. Like it I think with all of the pressure from around it from all of you, does impede its ability to strike true, which is how I'm going to interpret the very low dice outcomes of all of the dice. Um, but then also as it suffers the pin, does allow everyone to have a post instance opportunity if you have the resources to spare to hit it again.
Yeah. Uh, Wonderful.
Which also note of opportunities. Uh, Also, you'd only have a single element.
Yeah, so I'm going to shot call just to send someone's roll as my element.
Uh,
No, it says instance. I can't
Yeah,
for
instance. Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah.
All right.
The opportunity would have to be you hitting in this case.
Then I think I'm going to use intellect to observe and gain insight during this opportunity.
Hell yeah,
So then I can
absolutely.
ascend
Yeah. So
my next attack.
roll just ascends your next attack. Yeah, would make sense to would not make sense to force you to roll about that.
I'm fine with
Um,
rolling.
but you know what, with the like how, never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, you use this
fair enough.
opportunity for that. Absolutely.
Mm.
I'm using my opportunity to recover extra stamina dice.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So then, John, let me know when you have your roll in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could hit. Is that just a normal warrior thing, Jacob? Because I should probably just do the same thing. If
Yeah, it's one of the fundamental
yeah, I'll just do
elements.
this because if with only one element, I'm really drained. I don't think I
Yeah.
could hit 50.
Yeah, it's quite tough. Okay, so then in that case, moving on to the scene between, this thing is pinned. It will, I think, between instances. Actually, I'll double check pin. Because it doesn't have the ability to contest anymore. So it's there's a chance it could just be fucked as far as movement is concerned, but I'll double check. A lot of the language around Legacy and Saga is reasonable. Action element, you can pin a target and earn post up to any character to take advantage of. Yeah, I think I'll interpret that as it'll be able to get out of it after the opportunity. Um, but yeah, so then this thing is like worn down a little bit, but still like pretty. It's uninjured. It's still pretty serious. Let's do scene with like John Redmond or no, fucking Gus Redmond and Nicodemus communicating, and then also figure out how Ismarie is doing as he's just dissociating with Noel's pack.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use this like instance to prepare my attack. And basically, I'm going to be using shot calling and coordinating to add improvise and then ascend someone's dice
Okay.
for my two elements. And then because my dice was ascended, my improved
Yes.
dice will be ascended
Yes.
um, to help with the collective action. But I'm basically going to distract it to a degree, is what I'm telling Gus, and then telling Gus to go for the weak spot, the left side, and I'm going to, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Help Gus there.
So Redmond being effective commander, to some extent. How are Nicodemus and Gus responding to that?
How do you, Andy? I'll ask you a question. How does Redmond deliver these? Like, is it in a respectful manner? Is it in a
I
little bitch
think
boy manner, or
I think it's surprisingly calm, and I think it's because he's lying to himself now. He doesn't feel. Feelings aren't needed. Just worry about the rules, what we follow. And so when he does tell you it's tired, obviously, we're fighting, coughed, but it doesn't sound completely like Redmond used to, especially since you knew him a year ago, or not a year ago, but the last before he left.
Yeah.
I think you did know him a year ago. It could also be attributed to late puberty. I mean, he's like 19. But yeah,
uh,
it's authoritative. It's not stripping you of your power. It's not calling you stupid. It's if we want to survive, this is our best chance beside running.
I think I nod, uh, just a slight glance towards the sword You finally learned to hold that thing. And then I'll kind of take out or begin to take out your plan, as maybe just in my peripheral, I see Izzy just still sort of shut down, um, and feel that concern starting to grow.
As
I
far
think
as Nick, oh, go ahead.
I think Redmond, sorry, doesn't respond because I think the only response I can come up with is witty and like bantery, and I don't think he's in that mindset. I don't think he will ever be.
I think Nicodemus was preparing to ask if we should fall back, regroup, but hearing Redmond kind of step up and bark those orders, um, just steals himself for the fact that like we're gonna do this, we're gonna finish this.
Is there any political like rules about falling back? Because it's not if it's not retreating just to reassess, or is falling back at all like not allowed?
That's a complicated question that I don't think
Yeah.
we'll take the time to figure out for the
Fair enough. Not
logistics of the
yet. Not
Legion.
yet. Never know.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Ismarie staring at this pack. I imagine not even clocking what is happening in front of you.
No.
Um, uh, is there anything else going on with Ismarie? Like, is he just stuck in this moment?
Absolutely. I think the most is there might be a little bit of movement as like, the wind kind of leaves him, his body sort of like, crumples a little bit. He probably hits his knees. But I think he is just, yeah, absolutely stuck here.
Hell yeah.
Can I hand Tucker something on this? Because David and I had some conversations offline. In that pack, there is like a sketchbook that Noel worked on as he sort of traveled.
I did say before that he had like opened it. I do think he is kind of like thumbing through things in a way that isn't like overly intentional. I don't think there's a lot of like active thought going on there. Um, there is just sort of like a confirmation um, of like this is Noel's. Um, I do think, like he is occasionally like pulling things out, just kind of running his hands over them. Um, and probably the sketchbook as well.
Wonderful. So negotiating movement, Nicodemus holding position into a collective action, which means that we're critting a third time. At this point, there are no more hit points to get through, which means we're just trying to deliver injuries. So the elements outside of what Redmond is delivering to just get numbers up, for the other two of you should just be focusing on injuries.
Under aiming, there's nothing. The only thing referencing injuries I see is tier 3. You reduce the number needed for injuries with aiming weapons by 1 per tier.
Yes.
But I don't see.
So injuries are in the second page of the warrior section.
Okay.
A minor is 20, a major is 35, a severe is 50. And then if you look at the heavy bow, maybe it did not.
Just under simple bow, there's pierce
Yeah.
-3, puncture
Yeah.
-2.
The maybe the intention should have been the same for those other two, unless I had a reason for otherwise. It should be at least pierces are -3, punctures are -2. What that means with that other ability is that so a severe injury, or rather, a minor injury is for a pierce, for example, with a bow, is -3, -1. So we're down to 16. When we go to a major, we add that again. So instead of the -4 collectively, it's -8. So then we're from 35 to 27. And then -12 from the 50. So a severe injury, you only need to hit a 38 total.
Okay.
I think I got that. Honestly, just with my improve.
And sorry, you said this was another crit. Did I hear that?
Because Nicodemus holding position,
Okay.
presuming this is collective action, you crit together. Yeah.
By myself without the D20, I got 32 plus. Oh, wait. Again, when I split dice, it's each split counts as one dice.
Yes.
Okay. I got 36 without the D20 by myself.
Wonderful. Oh, who's also in front of the fella this time?
I think Redmond told me to go behind if I understood your
Yeah, I
instructions
think
correctly.
I think I think he did. Well, not behind, but the left. The blinder spot
Uh,
that I said or some shit like that. Our left, I guess.
yeah. So which is to say that then
I would
Gus,
be
well, Gus
because I was
and
making a distraction. That was the idea. I would be. It would focus on me, and I
okay,
ascended
I see what you're saying.
Gus's
Yeah.
dice.
Okay, so it goes to you. Okay, I gotcha.
So I'm taking this hit,
Yep.
but we're gonna injure it, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you guys just go to injuries, but use both your elements for injuries, I mean, that's four severe. Could be. Well, no, it's one.
You
We
then,
just need one severe, right?
no, because you need to eat through its buffers still.
Okay, buffer still. So yeah,
We don't know how
and we
many it
need.
has.
Okay, and what do we need overall? So say if it had three buffers.
Yeah. You need two severe injuries. One to eat through the buffers, one to kill it.
And then the number. Sorry.
Uh, uh,
Yeah.
won't worry about the number too much. You're going to overshoot it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, yeah, I add 36 to everything.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I also I was going for a severe break, and I also reduce because of blunts for that. So I got 42. I think I needed. You said minus 12, so I needed 38. So
Yeah.
I got
And
severe break.
Might be different for you based on
So
your
did you
weapon.
take the double ascend as well?
Will
It's
not
Oh, I
be.
did
ascended from
double
crit,
ascend.
ascended from me.
I didn't know it was double ascended. I just ascended once.
Yeah.
We're don't worry about rerolling the dice because you're gonna get
Yeah.
more than you can buy with your dice.
Either way, I think
yeah.
Jesse. I think it's -9 for me.
Yeah.
But I needed 42 in that, or 41, and I got 42.
Yeah.
all right, I did 29, or no, plus the 4 because I used 4 stamina dice. 33.
33, and then plus the 20 base. So
Yeah.
incredible. So yeah, that'll be two severe injuries then to it, plus the minor from what's it called, from Gus's crit thing.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
Incredible. Redmond, you're going to take
Mhm.
64 points of damage.
Okay.
So
What was the D20?
16.
What is the durability of a Legionnaire's tower shield? Not tower shield.
Probably less than that.
But it can't be 16. Damn it.
Uh,
It's then I could block the attack.
I think so. I'm not gonna dive too deep into that.
You're good. I'll look into it.
Yeah, its durability would probably be in relation to material, which would not be huge unless I'm intending to add durability rules. But right now, with a 16, it would be far beyond the even expected thing. So Damage does not matter because you're going to hit 0. The only thing that
Okay.
is going to matter here is oh yes, looking up ability shrapnel. Um, uh, you're going to take 2 severe injuries. You're also going to experience shrapnel. So it's going to leave behind crystals inside your skin. So sword comes down,
Oh.
crystals extend in. We'll explore what that means later.
Okay.
But you're left with stuff behind this time. But yeah, more importantly, 2 severe injuries, which is nightmare.
Okay, 2 severe injuries. I can get rid of one with
Mm.
the rest of my resistance and my 2 buffers. So, and my protection's 18. So I ain't protecting anything. And because I'm sacrificing resistance, I'll take all the damage basically.
Mhm.
It doesn't really matter. It's only 22 health. So 0, and then I have 1.5 resistance left.
Okay. So getting rid of 1 severe injury, then Redmond takes a severe injury.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything to contest against like an injury, because I don't have
Um,
like resist or endure or anything. It's
you have
just
well, contest doesn't need a resistor
okay.
endure. So the contest does happen before um, the injury takes effect, right?
Okay.
So you'd have to contest. Quick math. 16 plus that would be 25, 31 plus 6, 37, 38, 39, 40. So you need to contest 40. This could be a moment to use a
Okay.
swing to contest so you don't take that injury.
Okay. Okay.
Unless you could maybe hit it. I just don't know what the math is. You have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hit it, but it's not an easy
No.
hit.
Yeah. Worth
Yeah.
rolling.
Hmm.
Realistically, you probably have at least 1 edge dice from your experiences in Folia as well, which
Yep.
so
All right. Well, I will roll that if you want to continue with
yes,
explaining.
right. So I think then everything's accounted for. Everyone's gotten their injuries in. Um, so then as Andy rolls that. So Redmond calls out his kind of distraction to help Nicodemus and Gus coordinate to try to injure this thing, without knowing the outcome of how many buffers it has to eat through. How do the two of you hit it together?
I think I used Redmond's opening that he was referring to. Um, I wrapped the chain around its sword arm and just shatter it. Like I just try to turn it in as
Mm.
many directions as I can to just break this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And as the arm's getting lifted up, I think I'm just trying to sink an arrow just like into the ribs while the arm
Hell
is
yeah.
exposed, like while underneath it's exposed.
Hell yeah. So, as uh, it, 2 arms on or 2 hands on sword, Gus goes to wrap on like the arm closest to him. Will like lift and try to like push against this thing's strength, which is fucking strong. It's like bending steel, but there is a person somewhere under there with a weakness. I think as the arrow sinks in, it kind of stumbles, and then you get a minor breakthrough. 6 buffers. It ate through, but it does affect the sword arm, which will doubly affect or one of the sword arm, which will doubly affect its um, attack for position of the break. But I think as you break, it'll like slash out of your hold, the kind of like chain like flinging around and almost hitting you, as it then just like slams into Redmond and like almost cuts him in half. As Redmond like steps back to contest the injury. Where are numbers at?
Um, I don't think medicine helps me at all because this is just, even though I'm using an intellect, I don't think it ascends anything.
Yeah, not for this case. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I can use any of my improve at all.
Yeah, for a contest, just a single thing.
so I cannot re-roll the d20, which was a 3.
Mm. Mm.
So what did I need?
40.
40. I did most likely not get 40. Just gonna put that out there.
Okay. Even with the potential edge dice, only a D14, so not super likely to boost you up that much. Might not
I
be
would
worth
need
using.
a 12.
Yeah, yeah. So then I'll ask Andy in this moment.
I already have an answer.
For swing.
And yes, I have the answer because of my idea of Redmond's story, if I'm being
Mhm.
honest. And I feel if he were to take this injury, Gus would disobey him to protect him or heal him, knowing Gus, and then Redmond would start being better.
Mm.
But if he doesn't need to be protected,
Yeah.
Gus won't revert to father around him.
Mhm.
And I think that worsens Redmond in the future.
Hell yeah.
So I think I want to go for the edge dice to try,
Okay.
just
And
because
then swing
it's
if need
spassy.
be.
And then so it's a D14.
Yep.
Can I roll a D7? Because I have that.
Sure.
So 2D7. Okay.
Mhm.
What does it even look like?
Looks like this. Got a 6. It's got
Wow.
7. It's got
I
4.
didn't even
It's
know it
really
existed.
fucking weird. Anyway. Okay, so a 6 or a 7. I was a 2
So could not
and a
get
5.
from here. Yeah.
So that was a 7.
Okay.
I think there's so many other things I could do. Knowing Saga so well.
Mm. Not with a
Eh,
contest though. I don't think there's anything else you can pull in because you don't have higher power. Um, I
Okay,
think
so I can ascend my dice on a non-collective action. Is this
this is a contest, not an action.
okay? And then yeah, so I think I will swing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So barely
makes no
getting out of the
sense.
way, the sword still hits you, reduces your hit points, leaves you with shrapnel. So your dice are descended, and whatever that effect is going to be, we don't know. So like Redmond is absolutely gassed. But this thing now has like a vulnerability, right? Its arm has a minor break, so it's like Gus felt something crack this time, and it's like harried itself. It's being slowed down, but has no like emotional response to what's happening. Is not letting up, despite the physicality slowing down. Which means it's going to have guaranteed one more. Well, actually, well, no. It might not be Nicodemus probably doesn't have the resources to be able to hit it on an opportunity.
So you need to get a 50.
Well, technically every time you crit, you're reducing its protection, which I'm choosing to interpret as at least 4 points because eventually I'm going to change protection rules. So at this point it would be down to 38, but still like eating up stamina resources each round I think might be beyond the ability here. But regardless, I think at this point, so like separating from the engagement, having another couple seconds to talk to each other. I think as you're like this thing is like continuing at you, and you guys are all have been like backing up, fighting it. At this point, it's like getting up to where Ismarie is, or where Ismarie has Noel's pack. Which is maybe at the point that Ismarie like clocks, oh, something else is happening. Yes, Andy.
I'm gonna try to lie to it on my if possible at any time because I can't fight really right now, but I have deceive.
You can still add to your friend's rolls, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in right. This is logic
So
is.
yeah, so I can use deceive as misdirect to cover up a secondary effect from another character
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um,
if
uh,
needed is what I mean. Sorry.
I see what you're saying. Um, but
Can I shout something
yeah,
to Ismarie
yeah.
as I see that you said the creature's moving towards
I
him?
think the whole time it's been trying to like it's been just stepping forward slash slash slash, and you guys are like shit fuck, like dumping arrows, hitting it, trying to stay alive.
Yeah. I think I just shout, "Is he? I know it hurts. He had one wish. He said you needed to live. You need to live. Shake out of it." And just see if that finds any purchase.
Um, just saw it in his chat. Hmm. I think it is at this point, um, that I do think he will snap out of it a bit in sort of remembering, hearing Gus speak reminds him of the promise that he made. And it just like kind of clocked to him. He looks up, the world sort of like comes back all at once. Everything, was so far away and so quiet. Now everything's loud, and very much in his face. Um, and and I think like holding on to this bag with like a death grip, he will stand up. How fucking close is this thing
It's
to
like
me?
5, 10 feet away. Like
I can't get the fuck out of
yeah, yeah.
here.
So negotiating movement, fucking Ismarie starting to back the fuck up. Um, uh, Andy, for the purpose of misdirect, um, uh, largely that is a something that functions on people. It could be used in combat, but it would be a thing that would need to be um uh of a mind to receive a misdirect, if that makes sense. Um and this is a thing like above table. You've seen like Elsie in the state and knows that they are mindless. um Redmond does not know whether and how much of a mind this thing has, but I
Mhm.
also think so. I'll give you two things here. Redmond could try to misdirect, and potentially fail. But if you wanted misdirect to definitely succeed, I think Redmond would have to step in front of it in a way that would then put him in the line of fire, and then he could take a severe injury and fucking die. So
Yeah, I think if possible, I think the misdirect would be to look like I am coming close to hit, and then to back up.
just sort of like faint.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
so then the ranged of Ismari and Nicodemus
yeah, do
is
a
not. Yeah.
do a deceive. I'm gonna say oof. Yeah, I actually what I'll say, I think maybe this will have to be interpreted as a luck check, because I don't know what number I would ask for that you'd need to hit, and perhaps it might be too high for you to hit. So I think I'll say luck. I think mixed luck means that it doesn't work. Bad luck means that it doesn't work and it hits you. Like it closes distance, hits you. Good luck means that it works. Other friends ascend their dice and you step out of the way. If you want to follow through.
So 2 is what I need to make it happen.
Yes. Yeah.
You're saying. Okay. Yeah, because I don't think I have anything that can send my deceive.
I think, and even in
Yeah, at all.
particular, like again, like we'd probably be aiming for a 50 or something, and that's even outside the range of what your normal.
That would be exactly the top of my deceive. Every dice on the top.
Yeah.
Okay. So luck check it is.
Mhm.
Sam, are you watching? Because I need you. All right. I have my numbers.
What are your numbers?
1, 4, 6.
1, 1, 5. So mixed luck, not in danger but doesn't work. So regular delivery from the other two. And then it will then, I think, swing on Gus, as Gus would be the only one close enough.
Is that my full action or just
Yeah.
an element?
That
Okay,
would
full
be my
action?
full action. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Perfectly
think
fine.
I'm like Boromir running to like meet this creature before it hits
Mm.
Izzy.
Oh, wait,
Like-
hold on. Sorry, continue. I'm just holding on to myself.
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm just trying to, as my movement, sort of cut that
Yeah. Hell yeah.
cut that off.
Right, and this is still critical.
Yeah, I think as long as you're holding position, absolutely.
Okay.
Does a 14 hit Gus?
It does not. 20 is my protection.
Hell yeah.
Uh, 23 without the
D20.
D20. And yeah, I'm using my additional element to try and cause another pierce
Hell yeah.
injury.
I got 52. I cashed in a bit of wrath on that one. And also trying to do break again.
Hell yeah. So Redmond, what do you think your feint looks like in your attempt to misdirect?
I think it's pretty damn good for a guy that is standing because of adrenaline. And I think if he wasn't so fucked, then it would have looked real. But he was slow. He was lagging behind. It was hard to move after that hit. He still doesn't know how he survived.
Hell yeah. So yeah, as Gus is running up to try to like give Ismarie more space. Redmond kind of approaches and like jumps back. You see it like does level sword towards you, then snaps over to Gus and will swing towards Gus. But as it does so, because of that break in its arm, it kind of like stops and then adjusts its stance and follows through, which gives Gus the perfect amount of time to like dive underneath. What does Gus's hit look like?
I think I'm actually like, there's a scene in, I can't even remember which Marvel movie, but Captain America is just like jumping forward with his shield and just like bashes into somebody. I think I'm just doing that and trying to get the backside of its arm and just make it go the
Hell
other
yeah.
way.
Yeah, okay, I'll add that detail after Jacob gets his thing in.
Yeah, I think as it starts to swing towards Gus and it kind of catches because of that break, I think there's Nicodemus. I take the gap, like that little opportunity to let loose the arrow, aiming for the same spot in his ribs.
Hell yeah. So yeah, as it stops and then adjusts its stance is when the arrow hits it. And immediately the body begins to lose its like begins to collapse, right? Like it would immediately drop if it were not an altered kind of state. And as Gus like with his shield just bashes into it with that bit of wrath, a bit of magic, breaking the arm. It's terrible to like have a thing that feels so unnatural to then see bone just like shatter out with like a spray of crystal and blood, as you just like fully knock it over and it falls dead. Engagement over. Redmond actively just has these like crystals embedded in him. Is like hit points don't necessarily mean like harm. That's this point of injuries. But so Redmond only has like a little bit of blood kind of coming out of him, but it's like regardless, absolutely gassed. And you guys are free to have scene afterwards.
I I think I think Redmond, like, after this battle is won, I think he'll look
Well,
around.
I'll also be clear.
Yeah.
This is still like mid larger battle.
Mhm.
Engagement over.
Yep.
It's just for your full.
Yeah, so like the battle's still going on,
Yeah, yeah.
but we are like basically done. But I think Redmond would start like walking towards where he's supposed to go and then like fall to his knees.
Mhm.
I think Nicodemus runs down off the like pile of rubble to go to Redmond's side.
I continue that movement if the creature falls to go to Ismarie. Um, what's his vibe, Tucker? Like, I'm trying to judge if Gus would like even like put a hand on his shoulder, or if he looks like don't touch me or something like that.
I don't think that's the vibe you get. Because it's Gus. I think that if this were anybody else, there might have been a very different energy being displayed here. Um, and I think that like he actually looks at Gus when Gus approaches. Um, at least briefly, there is a display of pain. He wants to ask what happened. But the words don't really leave him.
I think at this time, like without even words being said, I think he's already just kind of pulled you into a hug. Then, if that was the vibe,
Mm,
so he's just hugging you now. not really. He hasn't said anything, but just
I don't think he moves much. I think this is like a very, like a what he knows will be a brief moment of like respite of comfort that isn't probably going to last too long. There is like your body kind of hitting survival mode, taking whatever little piece of rest you can. Um, you know, hitting survival mode this time in an attempt to keep to his promise.
I think at this stage he just says, "I'm sorry, I couldn't." I don't think he suffered. And he was brave.
I shouldn't. I shouldn't have let him come here.
Don't do that to yourself. He was his own person. He made his own decisions. Don't.
I could have stopped him. I could have asked. I could have begged. He would have listened.
I think I pull back a little bit now and just sort of grab you by the face, and I'm looking in your eyes. All he wants is for you to be okay. None of this is going to be easy. I promised you would be okay. So we're gonna get through this for him.
He will kind of like meet your gaze. And I think that this is the only point, like the first point in which like tears kind of hit his eyes.
Gus wipes one away.
And he just says, "That selfish bastard." In life, all I did was keep moving for him. And in his death, I'll just keep doing the same.
There are worse reasons to keep moving forward than the love of a friend.
And I think he just stops for a moment.
I think Gus just stays there in the moment, and as maybe it feels like we're coming to the sort of conclusion of that, he takes the sword that he took from Noel, puts it in your hands. I know you don't really use one, but this is yours.
Will you teach me?
You're goddamn right.
No. Take the sword and probably doesn't carry or have anything on him that can necessarily, holster it, but he'll hold it in his hands. It's probably also very big compared to him.
I think it's also a mace.
Is it?
Because
Is it a
I
mace?
remember it
Oh,
when Noel won the duel, he smashed um the helmet in with a blunt object.
right. Well,
Um,
then it's a
Yes, yes.
sorry.
It's probably heavy.
yeah.
It's only with two hands.
Hmm.
Just the sword changing shape in his right hand.
But at the same time, Redmond and Nicodemus, so Redmond on his knees, again, absolutely gassed. Like have there's a little bit of the pain from the crystals in you, but just more of the like, oh, I almost died, and my body has reached has like emptied its adrenaline stores.
Yeah, do you remember when I asked about like the falling back type thing and you said that's for later?
Yeah.
I think it's later.
Yeah. I'm so like I think you cannot reach. So one of the central elements of a battle called Eldon Field back in Philea was this idea that when the Legion was sent in to a battle that they could not win, um, uh, uh, they just had to die there because they could not fall back. It was like just against their principle. I think you can't. Like I do not think your principles allow you to stop.
Yeah, I think then yeah, I think there's the fall to your knees, your hand catches you, pulls the shield, which is like, probably broken like most of his armor. Um uh Uses the, sword, gets like looks up, you know, out towards the fighting, sweat, blood on face, and tears probably, definitely tears, but there's also sweat, so,
Mm.
are there tears?
He's not crying. He's just sweating
He
a lot
manly
from his
man.
eyes.
And I think there's a decision that is being made in Redmond in this moment. I think it's this decision to completely shut out what he wants or what he thinks or feels for the ideals that he is supposed to follow. Because any smart person, and god damn it, he's smarter than he should be when he's a soldier. And you know that the smart thing to do would be to recover. but we have to keep going. That's what we have to do. And I think the decision is between his human reasoning and then the order of the general, the generals follow. Like, I don't know. The general is justice and something else, or
I don't think the Filians would have a lot of awareness that the general is also destruction. I think they know something else is going on with it, especially after these emissaries were
Mhm.
summoned. But it's in the pantheon of justice and treated as a pantheon of justice god.
yeah, I think it's a decision between surviving and dying for what he's supposed to.
Mm.
I think it's like that moment for a second, probably with like Nicodemus running up behind like him in the out of focus, and then it's the struggling to get up to continue. And I will be honest, probably not enough energy to tell Gus or Ismarie what to do.
Mm.
But if he survives, he'll have words. But right now, he's got to keep going. And if you guys get left behind, we kill stragglers. I don't know what we do.
Can you make an intellect check for me? So keep in mind,
Yeah.
descended from having reached 0 hit points, which won't be
Yeah.
amended until a day's rest, even if you get hit points back.
Which,
So instead
speaking
of
of,
10,
I do have some healing. I have no idea how that works or even if it's appropriate for this moment, but I was going to ask about that.
Mm-hmm.
I can touch your bodies and make you feel better.
yeah. All right. Well, a really good roll on the D20. Not really. It's a 5. 5, 7, 4, 7. It's a 14, 18. 23.
23.
Something like that.
I will then describe something, and if Andy picks up what I am doing here, then Redmond picks up what I'm doing here. But if you miss it, then Redmond misses it. So I think 23, you said? Is in a kind of gray zone here. You see that there is a soldier injured, not Legion, in it, but Sovietic armor, but gray, and like small. I don't know if I describe them as maybe having silver or gold, but a slightly contrasting color or material on their armor as well, with a symbol on the front of a hand. You see kind of having a sword, kind of like maybe like injured kind of arm or holding their stomach or something.
Mhm.
Kind of like comes out, because you're going through city or location or something, comes out of a sort of alley, kind of looking around, sees the probably, I presuming closer to Redmond and Nicodemus. So we'll see the two of you. Kind of has a face. Helmet's like lost. Hair is messy. Is say human. Kind of like raises a sword, and says something in Sovietic, and kind of like sidestepping, but like not taking eyes off you for this moment.
Backing off or
Yeah, kind
coming
of. So like
towards?
you're going ahead of him. He's trying to get through the other side.
Okay, so Sovietic soldier doesn't technically mean so against me. Like, is that for sure, or just Sovietic soldier? Just
Just
calling
Sovietic
it.
soldier.
So we don't. I don't know if it's against me. Not opposing me.
Not
It
opposing you,
seems,
but is saying something and has a sort of like standoffish vibe to you.
and is trying to go a different way than I am.
Yeah. You're not in his way, but as he came up, it was like, oh, there's some kind of antagonistic vibe. He's raised his sword, says something in Sovietic, and begins to sort of like sidestep. There's birth between you. Sidestep to just like make sure that you continue on and he continues on in his own way.
So my question is, I assume he. Well, not my question. I think I assume he's an enemy then, from how he reacted.
Um. So yes,
I don't have into it,
the the
so
the intellect there, the 23, the miss or hit. Um. There were people here on a different side to the Dark Imperium who were Sovetic, who were attacked by lies.
okay.
So enemy of the Dark Imperium, by extension, enemy of you, but also like where big ideas of where assigning loyalties. But like if you had met on the field, with each of your sides, you would have been trying to kill each other. But also, this is the first person that you have seen that you're fighting. This is not someone who's influenced by lies. This is someone who is holding up here, defending lies, and then Dark Imperium has taken this position.
I don't. Andy doesn't know enough about the general to know like what it would advise in a situation kind of like this that he could.
Mhm. I don't think it's clear. I think it's personality here.
I think then. I think Nicodemus is walking up, and I think, right.
Nicodemus has walked up, helped you up.
I think Redmond. Uh, what's it called? Points his sword at the guy who's also pointing his sword at him, and then in whatever language the Filian, obviously not what this guy seems to speak, he'll say to Nicodemus, "Shoot this motherfucker," and then he's going to make it look like do something like misdirect
Hmm. Oh,
with his
absolutely. Oh
body
yeah.
to a degree.
Um. How does Nicodemus respond?
Yes, Commander.
Uh.
And then seeing what Redmond does, I wait a moment to kind of let the guard drop of this guy.
Yeah. He follows whatever
Yeah.
misdirect Redmond gives, and you shoot him center mass in the heart. Has a couple of seconds of like life fading before just drops. And we'll end the session.